Hi guys, I don't know how to make a really cool YouTube introduction and I don't really want to. So, if you're watching this video through a Twitch chat link, then you already know me. I'm Paul, Korean Study Time, whatever you call me, Pabo, who cares. If you don't know who I am, then I study on Twitch every day, learning Korean, mostly through Webtoons or just Korean content. And this is going to be a list of 10 webtoons that I have found to be very useful personally for me learning Korean. This is just my personal taste and my own personal experience, so you could look at this like, I read that webtoon, it was really hard, or it's too boring, or whatever, and that's totally fine. There's no discrimination. I don't know what the correct word is. Anyway, I'm not very good at editing as well, so there's probably going to be a lot of points in this video that are just weird or uncomfortable or odd, whatever. But I want to do this in one take because I want to value your time and my own time. So let's just go. Okay. Number 10, and the webtoon that I think is the 10th most useful for learning Korean is Chimbom. This is a story thriller, follows a young girl who is a sociopath, I'm not sure. She hurts people, and it's an 18, so if you're younger than 18 you probably can't read this, but if you find ways. The reason why I recommend this webtoon is because it starts off, the child is very young and it progresses through her life till she's in her mid-20s, so the vocab is quite capped in that sense, that you go from child vocab, young adult vocab, so it's not like you're not going to get like really formal business language. You're very locked in to what you're going to get, so that's why I really think this is a good webtoon, and I really recommend it to you to read if you're old enough and you like murder. Okay, next is a very famous webtoon or drama called Strangers in Hell, Tainen Jiokida. It is another thriller. I've put these together because I think if you're not 18, then maybe this won't be fine. No, really, it's actually really good, and it's also got a lot of picture-based text. So if you can't understand the Korean, or there's a specific vocab word you don't know, in some cases you can just look at the picture and you'll be like, oh, it must mean this, and then you can pick up the vocab a little bit quicker than having to Papago or Mirinate or Naver Dictionary everything, which is unfortunately what I did. But this is pretty useful, and once you've read the webtoon, you can also watch the drama and you can kind of hear the dialogue, so it's double useful, if that makes any sense. Okay, on to the next one. Ahopsu Urido. This is actually getting a drama. It's coming out next year. This is not a thriller, there's no murder, I promise. It is the lives of 3 girls who are 29, and it's their relationships with family, friends, boyfriends. There's no girlfriends, I don't think. Dogs, there's 2, there's hidden watermelons. But mostly why I recommend this webtoon is because it's very useful to gain daily communication skills in Korean, and there's a lot of interactions between one girl and how she speaks to a certain person and one of the other girls. So for example, Chacha is more of a blunt speaker of Korean. She's a more sassy, sharp girl, so she speaks in one way, whereas Uri, I can't remember her name, she speaks in a more polite, shy kind of way. So you get to learn and you get to witness different types of Korean speaking and different ways of speaking, whilst also picking up vocabulary. So it's really good. I would say one thing to say, it does get a little bit boring after like 100 chapters, so yeah, good luck. Okay, next webtoon. Now, one thing first, I'm very sorry if you've been looking at this with dark mode and now you're like, oh my eyes, because that's happened to me too. This is called 아무것도 하고 싶지 않나. It is one of the webtoons that I've most recently read, so there's a little bit of bias, but I really believe this is a great webtoon for if you're learning Korean. It's the life of a girl who just doesn't want to do anything anymore, so that's what she does. She doesn't do anything. No, it follows kind of her life and the connections she makes with people. Why I recommend this webtoon is because it starts very easy. It starts with picture, text, picture, text, picture, text. And then as it goes on, it becomes very wordy and very text-based. So text, text, picture, text, text, picture. So you kind of have an inbuilt pacing within the webtoon where you feel like, oh, I know this, I can do this, I'm learning new words. And then you're like, big jump of text. And that can be, it was for me, quite, I don't know, uncomfortable. But after I went over that hurdle of big text, it's made reading big text Korean a lot easier. One thing I would say, this is very hard to find online. Trust me, I've tried. So you have to pay for it pretty much. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it. Sorry, Siri's talking to me. That's why I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have access to Naver and the ability to buy cookies. Okay, 6 minutes in. This is going a lot slower than I thought. Next we have Wara Pyeonmujum, which is quite famous in Korea, I think. It's kind of comedy slash episode based. I'm just reading it. Comedy slash lifestyle type webtoon. Very, very short. Each chapter is like 6 or 7 picture frames or frames. I don't know what the correct word is. It's very easy as well. And why I recommend this webtoon is because it's in formal Korean in most cases. So you're gonna get to go from grammar books where you've probably learnt Korean, and you're gonna go straight into formal Korean where you can kind of compound the grammar book feel of the words with actual webtoon based content. And I think it's a really good webtoon to kind of move into that field of, now I'm gone from textbooks to webtoons to finishing this to finding a webtoon you actually enjoy and want to read. So that's why I recommend this to a lot of new people, because it makes you feel like, yes, I can do this. And that's what it did for me, because this was actually my first real big webtoon. So there you go. And also, please do not read all of it. You don't need to. Just read like 50 or 20 and then you've got confidence. So yeah. Next, 인노을 위한 수영 교실. It is a very cute teenagery story romance about a mermaid. It's very easy, it's very nice looking, it's very appealing, and the reason why I recommend this is because you get to read Korean in a webtoon that actually looks good, and the story is complete. A lot of webtoons that you're going to see later in this list of last five left are can be very long and drawn out, and this is not that. This is very easy. It's about 120 chapters max, I think, and it's just good quality content where you can learn a lot of nice vocabulary. Okay. Sorry for the breathing, I'm very tired. Next, I'm trying to do it quickly as well. Next is Zombidal. This is a little bit of bias. This is my favorite webtoon, and it's the life of a dad whose daughter has turned into a zombie. Why do I recommend this? Bias mostly, but also because I think this shows you, or hopefully this should show you, that it doesn't have to be that good of a webtoon. It just needs to be appealing for you. So me personally, I loved Zombidal. I can't talk enough about how much I loved it. So that's why I learned so much from it, because I really enjoyed the content. And that's what really learning is. You find content you like, you learn from it. So for me, this was the best. But for you, probably not going to be. Very good story though. Please read it. Oh god, I can see the next one. The next one is True Beauty, Yoshin Ganglim. Where do I start? It is terrible. It is long. It is a waste of time. It is lazy at parts. It is complete trash. But it is easy to read. And it gives you so many vocab words. And it's just one of those webtoons where you're guaranteed to read 10 chapters. And if you're a beginner, you're going to learn at least 10, 20 words. Maybe more. And that's why I read it. I hated it. I hate Reddit basically. But when you finish the reading study session and you come away with 20 new words, that feeling is very rewarding, even though you didn't like what you read. So, Zombie Down, I loved it. I've read a lot, I learned a lot. Yoshinkannim, hated it. Read a lot, learned a lot. So I'm trying to show you that some webtoons you might not like that much, but if they're in the category like this, like a 12-year-old romance one, you can really learn a lot of easy words. Low-hanging fruit, I think, is a phrase for this webtoon that suits it perfectly. This is very low-hanging fruit for people who need vocabulary. And it does have a drama, so you can also read it and then watch the drama, but it's not really the same. Anyway, next is essentially what I think is an improvement on True Beauty. It is Balnyone Kilchapi, which I think in English is Romance 101, I think is the name. It's very similar. It's a story of a girl who joins a university club, and it's all about her like social life, romance life, and that's it really. If you know True Beauty, you know what this one is like, then you're probably going to be wanting to read this. Very similar to True Beauty, you can get lots of low-hanging fruit, and one extra thing about this is that the webtoon has a lot of text on the screen available. So whereas True Beauty is just picture, text, this is text, picture, literally overlapping on the picture in some cases. So you're gonna get this overwhelmed feeling, and once you get accustomed to that, you really start to pick up words, and you really start to never have that feeling of I can't do Korean, because once you finish this, you get a bit of confidence. Plus, this has a really good OST, which is always nice because you can listen to it while you're reading, and that makes you feel more immersed. I hope so. Last but not least is the number one best webtoon that I would recommend if you are learning Korean, and I always recommend this, is Baeksu Segi. It's very easy, and every chapter has a food component. So if you are looking to learn Korean and you're looking to conversate with friends that are in Korea, or pen pals or whatever, this webtoon not only gives you basic conversation, because it is a story of romance, but you also get food descriptive vocab, and you get to know food names in Korean. So it's kind of the perfect webtoon for learners, that it's simple, full of vocab, full of useful vocab, and it also has a web drama that is exactly the same as the webtoon. So you can watch the web drama before or after the webtoon, and then you can read the webtoon, and you can just compile the sounds to the actual text you're reading, and then you are kind of fully immersed, and you can kind of pick up a lot of words very easily. So if you're just starting out with Korean and you have some confidence in learning words, please do check out Baeksu Segi. Okay, that was 13 minutes, not too bad. I'm going to put all of the description and links in the links in the description box. Click them if you want to. If you don't like them, don't click them. If you have any webtoon suggestions, please put them there. And yeah, hopefully this was not too painful for you and not too long. Okay, I don't know how to do an outro as well. Just bye.